do all children carrying extra pounds, are they, like, does it automatically qualify as them being obese or overweight? Because we've seen a number of them and they're healthy. I would say the ones that I have met,
they look
they're
chubby,
okay. Yeah, they look chubby and all that. So does it mean that, you know, when a child is chubby, it automatically means that they are either overweight or obese?
Not necessarily. Actually, there's a difference between overweight and obese. Okay. In terms of, it's basically classification of how far on the scale you are.
Okay.
So it's what we'd call, there's an underweight category, then there is normal weight, then there is overweight, and then there's a particular portion that is obese.
Okay.
And then under obese, there are, you know, extreme cases of obesity. So it's where you're at.
Okay.
So it is not automatic that a chubby child is necessarily overweight. Nor necessarily obese.
Okay.
But I think when it comes to children, what you really want to do is, you as the parent, you know, you're the one with the child. When you look at the baby and you're thinking, I think this is not right, then that should trigger something.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So can we just, let's say, define what it means when, let's say, a child is underweight, when they have a normal weight, when they are overweight, and when they are obese, so that, you know, people know.
At least they understand. The normal or the conventional way of measuring weight in children and classifying it is not exactly as we would do with adults. Well, there's what you call the BMI. BMI is the body mass index, and that is also used in children, but there is something particular about it. Okay. BMI is basically the measure of the height compared to the weight. So there is a conventional or an agreeable number that when you're this high, or when if your height is this much, then your weight should be this much. Yes.
Yeah.
So that is BMI.
Okay.
When it comes to children, we do the same BMI, but then you also look at their age.
Okay.
So you would not look at a baby by themselves and then do their BMI, like their height and then their weight, and then say, well, the number is telling me they're obese, the number is telling me they're overweight. You'd also have to compare that with the larger population of children. Okay. Normally, what is the average? When a child is, say, 6 years, what's the average weight they should be? Okay. So then you look at that. That's how you compare. Yes.
All right, and of course there's that aspect of genes and, you know, how a person is, maybe, because there's some people who are, and I think we would also talk about this in depth, where does, or how does genes play a role in obesity, but that aside, where we see kids, yes, they are fed healthy meals, they have, I think, enough time to play, but still they do not, let's say, gain as much weight as they are supposed to at a particular age, or others are just big, like they're
naturally
chubby. Yeah, they're just naturally big. So how does that, you know, quantify in the sense that, yes, you're supposed to be this particular age, but then let's say you're this weight and you're not losing it and you're not gaining it.
Yes.
I think you get what I'm saying.
I hear you. For such a case, and it's quite common, where you're wondering, okay, if I feed this child the same diet, but I feed this other one the same diet, but then the outcome is different. Yeah. Or you find that one child is even consuming more, but then they are smaller than the other one who's consuming a lot less. So the disparity there comes down to their metabolism.
Okay.
It's really not genetic, because if it were genetic, then how would you explain two siblings who are from the same genetic source, but then different outcomes? So it is more about the metabolism, which is very personal. So for one, the metabolism could be high, and because it is high, they're able to burn energy faster, meaning that they can take a lot more, but still process it faster. Yeah. But the other one, the metabolism is slower, so they can take a lot less, but then process it slower, meaning that it ends to become, you know, fat and stored. Yeah. Okay. So depending on the metabolism, that is where that is what will determine ultimately what the child will be like.
All right.